Hey people, hell done froze over and Satan moved to Miami and left me here alone. So I'm shivering under the covers. So I put up this movie yesterday. I touched a little bit on Satan being a Nazi, and I'm going to give a full explanation of that today. And I'm going to give you some information that no government ever wants you to have. And I'll leave you a link to this page I found. It gives up 25, 26 pages of his books and got the most complete list of angel names that I found, and a little bit about them. And I'm sure the book's 400 plus pages and tells much more about them. Here's Abel. And I tell you that the word for Abel in the Hebrew is actually evil. And it says here that this word Abel, he judges souls arriving in heaven. An angel in the fourth heaven ruling on the Lord's day. And his name means meadow. And so, Cain took his brother Abel to the meadow. Cain took evil to Abel. The first thing you notice about these angels is the majority of them end with this I-E-L, Y-E-L. A huge majority of them. And like I said before, that's because that's the main word for God in Hebrew Bible. That's how it is backwards. It'll be A-L-E-I. And so when you read it backwards, the word before it would Adab, E-L. But yeah, the hugest amount of these names, they end with an I-E-L. You see all the planetary archangels are Gabriel, Samiel, Raphael, Sachiel, Aniel, Cassiel. And that's what it is these words have come in the Hebrew Bible. So every time it says God, it actually doesn't. It names off all the different angels. There's a bunch of information that doesn't come through in translation. And so, in your Bible, when it says blameless and upright, who fears God, is actually Jeremiah. Starts with A and reads backwards. Jeremiah, the one who fears God. And you can see here they both start with an A, so it's read S-A-M-Y-E-L, Samuel, the fire of God, Samuel. And so sometimes they get these right, and sometimes they're off. But you see here that Samiel, angel of the third heaven, Ariel, spirit of the moon, same as Ariel. Ariel, aka Ariella, he's the lion of God, rules nature, angel of air or water. But you see that Jeremiah, aka Raziel, the secret of God, presides over souls awaiting the resurrection, the usher, the doorman. And Raziel is the archangel of Jewish mysticism, the keeper of secrets, and the angel of mysteries, and the Sephiro of Shakma. And so this is Shakma here. Shakma, and this symbol is the devil's tail, is Ketu, Rahu and Ketu. And I'll get into that later, but it seems that they've got that kind of mixed up in some of them. This is Shakma, and this is Yah, they say, wisdom. But yeah, that's what it says is Jeremiah, usher, the doorman, the usher from Ro, from the head's eye. That's where your word mirage come from. I was reading this, in Job 1:8 yesterday, and I seen this usher in Shuns, and I had to check it out, in from Ro, from the evil, the usher from Ro. And I noticed, it's the usher, the orb, the orb is, sometimes they say it's the raven, and sometimes they say it's the wolf, I think, or the dog. This changes up. Here it's the swarms, it's the orb. But I noticed that this word usher, they give it the meaning depart, departed, will leave, will go, goeth, and turning away, turning, turns, taken, will be removed, and that's the best definition for it there. Will pass, themselves will be removed. And so an usher is a person who shows people to their seats or shows them back to the door. The usher is the doorman, is where it comes from. The show or guide. The origin is late Middle English. They'll never say it's from Hebrew, denoting a doorkeeper. So if you go to a fancy nightclub and they have a doorman, that's an usher. And sometimes he shuns you, sometimes he turns you away. There's an usher in the church, and I've seen them drag people out on their heels for talking in tongues at the wrong time, saying the wrong thing. So in this job 1-8, it says to yammer, and the more I learn, the more I learn. In lines 13 through 19 in this, it's written like a musical, and it's a musical in the courtroom. I told you in that movie yesterday that it was a captain's mast, and this is where they'll say, and while he was talking, the other one cut in, and it's just like a musical. The ode, and then you hit the wall. Duo is mid-bar, and I finally found enough to figure out exactly what this mid-bar means. In courtroom you have a sidebar when the lawyers want to go talk to the judge but don't want it on record. You don't want the court to hear it. It's a sidebar, but this is a mid-bar, and it's in music. In the middle of the bar, and while the other one was talking and this one cut in, is exactly what it says. And so the ode, this song of the duo, is mid-bar, in the middle of this one talking, and to use in to yammer, to use in and said, and they'll say in this one, and this one, and cut in and to talk. So what this says here is who to yammer, who make word, to make amar, to make word. And so N said, you old Nazi Satan. It's backwards and forwards. NTSE, Nazi, STN, Satan. You old Nazi Satan. The summit, the top, the summit. Lubbock. A Lubbock line is the line that goes through the center of the compass when you're driving a boat and tells which direction the boat's going. The center. The summit, Lubbock. All hand in of die. In who power give. This isn't job, it's backwards after this A. B in and wise, ancient English for who. In who power. Give not, come who bears. See it is. Who Sir Jeremiah, the angel Jeremiah, usher from Roe. And it says, so you old Nazi Satan, on the summit of Lubbock, on the summit of Center, we don't see you. And so this is Nazi Satan, forwards and backwards. You can see the N T Z here. N T, the N and the T and the Z, the Nazi. And then here it's the Satan, the N, the S, and the N. But you don't see on the summit of Lubbock, of the center, and said, "You old Nazi, Satan, the summit, Lubbock, all hand in of die, in who ye give not, come who bears the seat it is, who Sir Jeremiah, the Jeremiah usher from Roe, from the head's eye. You old Nazi Satan, we don't see you on the summit of Lubbock. The seat is to Sir Jeremiah, the usher from Roe. The from Roe, from the head's eye. The seat belongs to Jeremiah, the usher from the head's eye. And so it's telling me that this is Jeremiah, and not here and not here. And like I say, they got all these mixed up. There's a whole bunch of these that I pulled off to compare them, and they all read different. That's why I compare them all. But I always go back. To the Bible, to the Hebrew Bible, to figure out exactly. I look at all of them, and I know that these numbers is off here. And this has been disguised for a long time. They've been getting this wrong, and it seems that they've been doing it on purpose. But I go to the oldest work to try to figure this out. And it's Cutter's KTR to give Mark first, and it's probably where your word center come from, CNTR in the center, and then the 2 would be the Chakma, and the 3rd would be Bina. So they'll call these the left and the right, or the black and the white columns. But anytime you're looking at alchemical art, the top of the page is east. And the best way to figure out, which way it is, Edward Lee Skillin, he's the one that, he wrote these 3 books, and this one on magnetic current. It's a good book to read, and he explains first to picture, the looking east. Everything I'm explaining to you, you're looking east, and he tells you he teaches you how magnetic works and how the Earth's magnetic system works. And this old symbol on here gives it off right here. So you're looking east. And so this is the north. The S is the north. And the Z is the south. But he built this old coral castle down there in Homestead, Florida. Down there right close to Miami. And he was a little old man, and it's good read it, study up on him. He was in the know, and every little bit of knowledge helps to figure these pictures out, because like I said, they're all different. You never know what's wrong on what. But this is the center. And so the S is here and the Z here. So this would be the not Z, N, T, Z. And this would be Satan. But what you're looking at is the pole stars. And that's what this looks like. This is the South Pole. You look at the pole star, and the stars are turning. And this would be the North Pole. And so it means that your view would be from the outside looking in. And like I showed before, that they have these reversed. when it talks about his right hand is on mercy, is on Jupiter, number 4. But then most of these will have Jupiter over here on the other side, and it means you're on the outside looking in. So when you read, you have to look for clues as to where your view is, where you're looking from, and get every letter in there. And one of the biggest clues to this is the spelling of view. You know, it could be spelled either way. And so, you know, view is something that you're viewing. But a view is the artist's perspective. So if you're the artist, you know, the great architect is from the sky. So from their perspective, they're seeing everything in reverse of what you're seeing it. And you can see that here in Genesis 1:15. You know, and between the night and let them be is to vin of in the lily view, V-E-I-W, V-E-I-W, from the artist's view, from the creator's view. But this other one will be hidden in the word they give Lord, which is you. And you see it here, you know, they say and Yahweh, but it's V-I-E-W, view the Rama. View the Rama means to see into. View the Rama. And the view, V-E-I-W, to view the lat. And said, you old Nazis, Satan, the summit center, the top center, all hand in of die, in your power, booyah, in who power give not, come who, in the power give not the usher, the power to give not who come who bears, the sea it is, who Jasher, the book of Jasher, the upright, the book of Husser, of the officers, book of the officers. It's the book that would be the book of angels that's talked about in the New Testament. This Jesus says, where's the book of Jasher? Jeremiah is the usher from row. From the row. Jeremiah's row. Not Nazi nor Satan gets the summit of Jeremiah's row. Alright, I'm going to cut this off here. Good day.